Hi, my name is Cold Beer and let's start with Tales of Iron. Set in a grim dark land plagued by war, the game is a hand-drawn RPG adventure with punishingly brutal combat. As an heir to the Rat Throne, you must restore your broken kingdom by banishing the merciless Frog Clan and their ferocious leader. As you explore the deceivingly charming world, you'll encounter a cast of unique companions ready to aid you in your adventure, and you'll need all the help you can get, because to be honest, you suck, and with companions, you suck less, so any help you get is great. Whether that's a new potato salad recipes, blueprints to forge deadly weapons and armor, or even a land-chugging armor-plated mole-mobile. Title has about 90% of positive reviews on Steam, so it's fair to say Tales of Iron is a good game. Observer, System Redux. This is a cyberpunk horror game where you will discover a dark world beset by plagues and war. You will take on the role of the new frontline of neural police as you hack into the jagged minds of the insane. So as you hack into the unstable minds of criminals and victims to look for clues, you will relive their darkest fears, forcing you to question your own reality and your own sanity. You know, maybe you are the one who's actually insane. All in all, this is a dark, psychological horror detective game, so be sure you have the mental balls to play it. The game is not for everyone, but if you like creepy sci-fi stories, it's definitely your spoon of potato salad. People on Steam are saying that the game is kinda scary, but really nicely welded together and is an absolutely unique experience. Across the Obelisk. A turn-based dungeon crawler roguelike RPG and a member of the deck-building family. You can play it alone or in 4-player co-op mode and prove that your party is led by a tactical genius. And it's you are a very smart and beautiful person. Now, subscribe, this praise isn't free. Anyway, the game is an owner of very positive reviews on Steam. 92% of players are happy with the purchase, so if a deck-building aspect doesn't scare you, it's a no-brainer. Especially if you have a friend with whom or from whom you can conquer these lands. You'll find more than 500 different cards and a procedural generated system that makes this game highly replayable. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. From all Souls-like games, Fallen Order had the most satisfying combat I've seen since the times of the third Witcher, and I probably liked it so much because it reminded me of those sword dances I did as a Geralt. The game started slow, but the more I played, the more powerful I got. You know, skills like running on walls or throwing spinning lightsaber into a bunch of puny enemies are not given to you all at once. At the beginning you suck as a Jedi, even some random rat can kill you if you are not careful enough. So I died a lot, but later I became a real combat god because I discovered a story mode difficulty. Yeah, this is a Souls-like game even noobs like me can enjoy. Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered. Here you will take on the role of Peter Parker, who is fighting big crime and iconic villains in New York City. At the same time, he is struggling to balance his chaotic personal life and career, while the fate of the town rests upon his shoulders. Yeah, this Spider-Man has some experience. He's not a newbie by no means. After 8 years behind the mask, Peter Parker is a crime-fighting master. So here you will feel the full power of a more experienced Spider-Man, with improvisational combat, dynamic acrobatics, fluid urban travel mechanics and environmental interactions. You'll swing through vibrant neighborhoods and catch great views of iconic Marvel and Manhattan landmarks. Also, you will have to use the environment around you to defeat murderous villains. And you don't want any murders in your town. Well, except those who die in the process of you fighting the villain. Those are acceptable losses, and nobody will ever miss those people. Everyone knows that. The game has an overwhelmingly positive review score and is a true gem for every Spider-Man fan. Dead Space. Of course, I'm speaking about the recent remaster of the game, which is a fantastic game just like the original Dead Space, but I can almost assure you that if you played it a long time ago, you won't spot any difference. I completed the first game more than 10 years ago, and when I watched someone play the remastered version, honestly, I couldn't see anything new. Yeah, the graphics now are shiny and beautiful, but it is exactly how I remember the original version, so the remake is a great game on 2 occasions. First, if you want to replay the game, and not because there is a remaster available, but because of the game itself. And second, if you never played it, in that case I can assure you this is one of the best horror shooter games I ever played. Well, it's more like a thriller with a bunch of jump scares, but the atmosphere is amazing. The surroundings of the space station are made incredibly well and the necromorphs are really creepy. Be sure that your mental balls are strong and hairy. 10 cold beers out of 10. Returnal. This is an incredibly beautiful action roguelite bullet hell. Here, after crash landing on a weird shape-shifting world, you must search through the barren landscape of an ancient civilization for your escape. All alone you find yourself fighting for survival until death. Yours of course, again and again. When you are defeated, you are forced to restart this journey every time you die. The fun thing is that you'll discover that just as the planet changes with every cycle, so do the items at your disposal. Every loop offers new combinations, empowering you to push your boundaries and approach combat with a different strategy each time. In other words, this is roguelike, but it's not boring at all. Game is still very expensive, but if you want something brainless and beautiful, you know, look at the mirror. Anyway, jokes aside, this is truly beautiful brainless bullet hell, although system requirements are quite high, so be sure you have them above minimum. God of War. Here you play as Kratos, a man who now lives in the realm of Norse gods and monsters. It is in this harsh, unforgiving world you must fight to survive, and teach your son to do the same. So to say short, he will slay the whole pantheon of pre-Viking gods and creatures, because why not? You are awesome and they suck. This version has some nice upgrades compared to the PlayStation version. For example, here you'll enjoy true 4K resolution with unlocked frame rates. I can already smell your computer's fear because you may smell him burning. You will also get higher resolution shadows, improved screen space reflections, ultra-wide screen support, and so on. Game also supports DualShock controllers. Days Gone. This is an open-world action-adventure game set in a harsh wilderness 2 years after a devastating global pandemic, which made a lot of zombies out of unlucky humans. Here you will take control of a bounty hunter trying to find a reason to live in a land surrounded by death. You will scavenge through abandoned settlements for equipment to craft valuable items and weapons, or take your chances with other survivors. Days Gone has very positive reviews on Steam, so if you like zombies, give it a try. Although, have you ever imagined that somewhere in the universe there's probably a planet of zombies and they are creating horror games about becoming human? And honestly, we actually are pretty terrifying. Just Cause 3. The Mediterranean Republic of Medici is suffering under the control of a dictator with a huge appetite for power. So this is some kind of Mediterranean Belarus, and you have to show them what freedom looks like. And here it looks like death and explosions of dictator's troops and allies. Here you will be given complete vertical freedom. Skydive, base jump, and freedive in an open world the size of 1,000 square kilometers, so you can create chaos in all of this land and have a lot of fun. People on Steam are saying that the game is very fun and has almost zero boring moments. The grappling hook and the wingsuit will help you to fly around and cause havoc, and this experience will keep you entertained for hours. To be exact, about 18 hours of your boring life will be made better by this game. Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. Here you'll find yourself in Hong Kong, a vibrant neon city teeming with life, whose exotic locations and busy streets hide one of the most powerful and dangerous criminal organizations in the world. In this open-world game, you will play the role of an undercover cop, trying to take down the mafia from the inside out. You'll have to prove yourself worthy as you fight your way up the ranks, taking part in brutal criminal activities without blowing your cover. You will be torn between your loyalty to the badge and a criminal code of honor. You will risk everything as the lines between truth, loyalty, and justice become permanently blurred. The game promises that you will enter illegal races, kick back with some karaoke, and gamble on cockfights. Let's hope they have animals in mind. Predator: Hunting Grounds. An example of a very popular genre now, a symmetrical shooter that pits humans against Predator. If you played or at least know what Dead by Daylight game is all about, Predator Hunting Grounds is kinda the same. You will have to complete challenging missions as a part of a 4-person team to escape, and as a Predator you will have to hunt them all down. Although keep in mind that the game can feel a bit unbalanced. It tends to put players of different skill levels in one match. So Predator Hunting Grounds is obviously best enjoyed in the group of friends, or, you know, in a group of strangers that decided to play together by meeting each other in some Discord group. The review score is around 80% and the price is kinda nice. But remember, if you don't like it, don't go over 2 hours of gameplay time and you can refund it. And don't leave it running in menu screen, that counts as well. Lost in Random. This is a gothic fairy tale inspired action adventure where every citizen's fate is determined by a roll of the dice. That may sound as a very random thing, and believe you me, it is, but around 90% of positive reviews are here for a reason. So you will step into a beautiful and haunted wonderland where you must venture through the 6 twisted realms of random, each with its own maddening set of rules. Help its unpredictable inhabitants, save your sister, well, or mine, I don't mind, and discover a twisted tale in the process. Basically, if you enjoy Tim Burton's creations, this game may be a real spoon of potato salad for you, because it definitely draws inspiration from Burton's works. The game has an interesting story with motivational moments you can relate to, nice humor but a bit clunky combat, and it's really short. Also, people on Steam are warning players that if you complete a chapter, you can't go back to it ever again, so if you are hunting for achievements, do it in the first try. It Takes Two. As you can probably imagine, this is a co-op game for 2 people. Here you can invite a friend to join for free with Friends Pass, and together master unique and connected character abilities, help each other with the obstacles, and have a great time in general. For example, my friend who's 40+ years old and usually plays games like Detroit Become Human, Observer, The Last of Us and similar gloomy stuff, played this with his wife, and he said that this was the best game he tried in half a year. So it's obvious that the game has no age or genre restrictions, it's just pure fun. So grab your mother-in-law and have fun together. It Takes Two has overwhelmingly positive reviews, but that's probably obvious as well. Command & Conquer Remastered Collection. These games were pinnacles of the RTS genre about 25 years ago, and now they are both fully remastered in 4K. That sounds amazing and plays floppy disks of nostalgia in my brain. In this release you will find all 3 expansion packs, rebuilt multiplayer, a modernized UI, map editor, and over 7 hours of legendary remastered music by Frank Klepacki. If you are old enough to play these games when they were initially released, this is the best way to relive these days with way better graphics. Here you'll find many cool things, like upscaled cinematic footage, enhanced sidebar UI, leaderboards for one-on-one matches, replays, 250 multiplayer maps, and even official mod support. But if you actually want a modern RTS game with all the cool stuff, these remastered games will not satisfy your needs. Go and play StarCraft 2 instead. It's free and it's awesome. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Following the events of Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, teenager Miles is adjusting to his new home while following in the footsteps of his mentor Peter Parker as a new Spider-Man. But when a fierce power struggle threatens to destroy his new home, the hero realizes that with great power comes great electricity bills, or something like that. So to save all of New York, you must take up the mantle of Spider-Man and own it like you stole it, or something like that. Anyway, there are some sweet technical characteristics as well. Unlocked frame rate, newest Nvidia graphic technologies, upscaling, ultra-wide monitor support, ray tracing, and DualSense controller support with all the tricks you get on PlayStation. The review score is above 90%, so it's a no-brainer for various joyful Spider-Man fans, or even for old grumpy dudes who just want to chill and enjoy the views. Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition. This is the Dragon Age game that is beloved the most, and this version of the game includes all 9 content packs and even Awakening expansion where you will become the commander of the Grey Wardens and embark on a new campaign. You fight new enemies, learn new spells, and fend off the advancing Darkspawn forces. People on Steam are talking that even if this game looks and feels a bit old, you can just download and install 100 mods or so and make it look new and shiny again. Well, I have some doubts about that new shininess, but in general it's not that old and it's enjoyable nowadays. The main story will take about 40 hours to complete, and the expansion will take additional 50 hours of your time. That is a great deal, no doubt. Slime Rancher. Last time I checked, it held 18th place among the best games on Steam. Yeah, it is ranked higher than Counter-Strike, Half-Life 2, Dishonored or Fallout New Vegas.
Incredibile!
So this is a charming first-person sandbox experience. You will play a plucky young rancher who sets out for a life 8,000 light-years away from Earth. Each day will present new challenges and risky opportunities as you attempt to amass a great fortune in the business of slime ranching. Collect colorful slimes, grow crops, harvest resources, and explore the untamed wilds. Also, here you can complete daily requests from other ranchers to get bonus rewards. Earn money to upgrade your stuff, build more corals, and expand your ranch. This is a relaxing and fun game, very suitable after a hard work day, or as a casual time burner when you have nothing else to do. Well, in that case, you can go and make delicious potato salad instead. Panorama. If you know the game Dwarf Romantic, which I featured several times in my videos already, Panorama is basically the same, just with different graphic style. Well, not only that, here the world is completely 3D and you can zoom in on your creation and admire all those tiny details you have placed. Like, notice that all the tractors are driven by cats, which is ridiculous and also very cute. So here you will create landscapes and also discover a wide range of structures with special abilities. Enter the world of beauty and tranquility with the panoramas of your own creation. Also, you can pet your animals and get additional scores for that. This is a great relaxing game after a hard day of work, also perfectly suitable for your mother-in-law. Dead Space 2. First part of the game was completely rebuilt and is the owner of more than 90% of positive reviews now. It was an absolute success and an example of how games should be redone in the right way. So Dead Space 2 almost definitely will get a remade version as well, and you can just actually wait for it. But price-wise, it won't be as friendly as it is now. And honestly, the second part of Dead Space still looks very impressive. I've seen worse looking games created nowadays, to be fair. So here, 3 years after the necromorph infestation aboard the USS Ishimura, you awaken from a coma, confused, disoriented, and on a space station called the Sprawl, a giant object in orbit around Saturn. Unable to remember how you got here and plagued with demented visions of your dead girlfriend, you must survive another nightmarish outbreak of necromorphs. The game's fantastic review score is above 90% and it's a must-play for every immersive Sims fan. Lumencraft. This is a combination of a top-down shooter and base-building game with tower defense elements. You will enter procedurally generated levels with a fully destructible environment. You will build your base, dig some tunnels and find the precious lumen, humanity's only chance for survival, a crystal of high energy that may be the last chance for the mankind. Your people established an underground settlement and went into the dark to reach the nearby deposits, but the darkness consumed them as the subterranean caves and tunnels hold as much danger as salvation. Now it's time for you to step into the endless shadows and show all that darkness who the real boss is. As always, probably not you. And now, thank you for watching, and don't forget that in my channel you can find hundreds of videos like that with new ones released almost every day. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.